Hi, Maria Mandarino here, talking about the Enneagram again and ways that the Enneagram can improve your life. If you've watched my channel before, you know I kind of have a unique spin on a few things. Today I'll be talking about the Enneagram as an acupuncturist. So we're going to actually look at whether the Enneagram can enhance your life at a biomedical level. So it's kind of a unique way of looking at the Enneagram. Before we jump in, I would like to ask you to remember to like, comment, and share the episode. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. We're trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of this year. So it should be a reasonable goal. So please help me to reach that. I do appreciate you being here and participating in the channel, because there'd be no point without any of you being here. So thank you. So today I want to talk about, and again, speaking to the subject as an acupuncturist, I want to talk about the question of whether or not the Enneagram may be considered to be a rejuvenation medicine, or kind of viewed that way. Of course, the Enneagram is not really thought of as medicine, but as an acupuncturist, I do see it that way. And one of the things I've developed in my practice is something called Enneagram-informed Acupuncture. And this is one of the ways that I really see the Enneagram working for my patients. So I wanted to speak to that a little bit today. So I want to speak first about neuroplasticity. And this is basically the idea of building a better brain. And we used to think, when I was first in college, that the brain couldn't really um, regenerate or couldn't heal. And we've learned quite a bit since then about neuroplasticity and the fact that the brain can reorganize and it can form new neural pathways, new connections, right? So there are various ways that this happens with the brain. One way is through learning, through challenging the brain and learning new things. So what is the Enneagram, right? But it's a method of awareness, and that's neurologically learning. So the question begs, and of course, I want to preface all of this with there is no clinical research on any of what I'm talking about. There's plenty on neuroplasticity. Nothing specific to the Enneagram. The Enneagram really hasn't been looked at this way. But again, as an acupuncturist, as someone who's using this work with my acupuncture treatments, I see it happen. So neuroplasticity means the brain can reorganize and form new connections. And this, among other things, is fostered by learning/awareness, right? And the other thing that we know is inflammation promotes aging, rapid aging in the body. So if we slow down inflammation, it slows down the effects of aging. So that's also a thing that we do with acupuncture. Acupuncture is a rejuvenation medicine. It absolutely is. I mean, one of the things that I do is cosmetic acupuncture, which some of the patients that I've worked with at the end of the series end up looking a good 20 years younger if they're really working the program and doing everything dietary wise and with herbs and all of that. Pretty amazing. So why does that work? I mean, it's real, right? We can see it. We see the person looking more youthful from treatment to treatment, between 10 treatments in between each one. We see radical change, right? It's visible. So there's all kinds of changes that we see in acupuncture, but the visible ones are the easier ones to catch, to notice. So we know that acupuncture reduces inflammation. We know that it is a rejuvenation medicine. We know that it is anti-aging. And so let's bring this over to the Enneagram side of life now, right? So we know we have security types and those lines that go across the circle from your Enneagram number, right? And then we have stress lines, and that's obviously where we go when we're stressed. So what do we know clinically about stress? It increases inflammation and it helps us age quicker. We know this even in arterial studies, right? We know that it does this to the arteries. So stress is something we don't want. I mean, emotionally, we don't want it, and we don't want oxidative stress. We don't want inflammation in the body, right? So So here are these two things. We want to promote neuroplasticity. We want to promote these new pathways, which we know we can do with learning. And the Enneagram is awareness based, so it's a form of learning. And then we also know that by reducing our stress, we can reduce inflammation and oxidation in the body, which makes us look and feel younger, and it actually makes us younger in terms of our internal health. So the Enneagram gives us a way, each of us gives us each 9 ways out of stress. So it gives us a ticket to get away from oxidative stress, inflammation, gives us awareness, helps us shape new neural pathways or trace new neural pathways. So what does that mean, right? So we get to feel better and even look better. I mean, look more youthful. When we start working a regeneration medicine like acupuncture, even when it's not cosmetic acupuncture, we start to see physical changes in the person. So we have that going on with something like acupuncture and energy medicine. But I am of the belief that the Enneagram can do the same thing. I mean, I think it does it pretty radically with acupuncture, but it does it even if you're just really working your Enneagram. So the question begs, can we grow more youthful through awareness? Can we grow more youthful through knowing and working every day, working on our Enneagram? Can we promote longevity is another way of asking that question, because it kind of sounds superficial. Can I be more youthful, or look more youthful or sound more youthful? That sounds superficial. But anything that's regenerative and promotes youthfulness is actually promoting longevity. And that's something else that we say acupuncture is. It's a longevity medicine. So my question to you is, why couldn't the Enneagram be a longevity medicine or a method toward living a life of longevity? So I leave you with that question. I leave you with that question for each of the 9 different types. I leave you with the question of how might you decrease not just stress by leaving your stress line, but how can you decrease physical stress in your body? So using the somatics of the Enneagram, right? Think of all the somatic pieces with each of the 9 types, your type, and how you somatically respond, how your body responds to stress, depending on what Enneagram type you are. And realize that this isn't just, and I think most of you here get this, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people think this Enneagram thing is trendy and fun and cool. And it's become the newest version of, hey, what's your sign? Which isn't to say that any of that isn't interesting, but that's just the starting place. That's absolutely just the starting place. The profound effects of the Enneagram are they're life-giving, not just in terms of, I mean, of course, your relationships, and I always say this, starting with the relationship you have to yourself, because if you're not clear on that relationship, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the rest of your relationships probably aren't as healthy as they could be. So the Enneagram gives us that opportunity to improve our relationship with ourselves, thereby improving our relationships with others, helping us make better choices, helping us make better decisions. So what does that get to look like? Spending less time in your stress type when you're Enneagram informed, because then you're making decisions ideally from either the higher side of your type or from your security type, which is certainly not where you're going to be when you're in stress. That's when you're going to be when you want to reach a goal, when you're clear and focused. So, the Enneagram has the potential through neuroplasticity to improve cognition, which again is another piece of longevity. Like, okay, longevity, we get to grow old and still be here, or be older and still be here, right? Well, who cares if you don't have quality of life? Who cares if you're not able to really focus and do the creative things that you want to do, and have the conversations that you want to have, and have the, the recall and the interest in life that requires cognition, healthy cognition, and neuroplasticity can bring us to that. So it's another way of viewing the Enneagram. And again, I know that this is something that people aren't talking about, and I'm going to say they're not talking about yet. I don't think it's a big stretch. And again, I see it every day in my practice. I am the only one that's doing this Enneagram-informed acupuncture. But even if you take these things apart, even if you only do one thing and don't do them together, or if you get acupuncture from someone and you do Enneagram work with someone else, you're still forming these new neural pathways. You're still reshaping your brain, which means you're reshaping your experience. And it means you're bringing down your inflammation. You're bringing down, in Chinese medicine, we want to control excess heat in the body, because excess heat is inflammation, right? So it's another way of clearing heat in the body, especially if you're integrating this with acupuncture and working with an acupuncturist separately. It really, it's not going to be as exponential, I would say. The work that I do is, and it's concentrated between 14 sessions, but it's going to decrease inflammation. It's going to reshape your brain. It's going to forge new neural pathways. It's going to wake you up in ways that you just haven't been. It's going to help you connect things in ways that you haven't been able to, because of oxidative stress or just emotional stress, which leads to that oxidative stress and inflammation. All right. So, I mean, I keep saying these things over and over again, but there's something to it. Of course, there's more than that to it. There are things like, diet and lifestyle, and where you live and what you're exposed to. Constitution plays a huge part of it. Another word for that is genetics. We all know this, but there are things that we get to do each and every day. There are choices that we get to make each and every day. Strictly within the Enneagram, there are choices we get to make each and every day, starting with how aware am I going to be today? And ask yourself that every single day. How aware am I going to be today? And when you find yourself feeling stressed, ask yourself, what am I doing in my Enneagram map? What number am I taking on? Where am I going in my Enneagram? What number am I behaving like today? Where can I draw energy from to attain my goals? Let's go into that, using that security line, right? Every day you have a choice. Hopefully you're working with someone else who can be a guide to you on this and really point out, because we all fall. Trust me, we all fall. I work with a spiritual director myself on an ongoing basis monthly. And you always need somebody to hold up the mirror for you, whether you're doing Enneagram work or any work of self-development and self-awareness. Man, if you don't have somebody holding a mirror up for you, go get one, because it'll make a world of difference. If you're trying to do all of this yourself, not that you can't, but it is hard, and you're probably going to miss something somewhere along the way that's just going to make it harder. So if you're really wanting to use this work to get somewhere on the superhighway, find somebody who knows the works, find someone who's trained in the Enneagram. If you want to work on this at the physical level, I would explore energy medicine. The one I practice is acupuncture. But yeah, bring it all together, right? Body, mind, heart, spirit, it's all the same thing. Bring it all together and bring somebody in who's well trained, someone who gels with you, not just anybody, somebody who sees you. There are people that I don't necessarily work with. That's why I do the free, the free kind of development call that I do before I decide if I'm going to work, before both people decide if we want to work together. Okay, I have a say in it, they have a say in it. But yeah, we just kind of see if we're a good fit, because if you feel that you're working with somebody, and by the way, this goes for anything including your physician. It's really important to be seen, people. Not just to be seen, but to feel seen. You can't heal if somebody's really not able to witness you, and if you don't feel that they are witnessing you. So it's kind of two things that have to happen there. You have to feel it as well as it has to be happening. So look for someone to work with, particularly with the Enneagram. Doing this work on your own is super hard. Same goes for some of the other stuff that I do, the astrology as well. Really, sometimes you can just get lost in your own chart, as you can get lost in your own Enneagram. And you can tell yourself some nice stories. And sometimes you need somebody to say, yeah, but what about this? And this thing that you do when that happens. Okay. Because ignoring those things, or not ignoring them, but not having somebody there to point them out, is where things like inflammation and stress and the inability to form new neural pathways, becomes an issue. This is where you can really take the work and it can get exponential. So I want to leave you with that. It's a little more esoteric than I usually go here, but I felt it was really important to talk about really what we're doing with the Enneagram, and that it's a physiological thing that happens when we start to expand our awareness. It doesn't just happen in here. It's body, it's mind, it's heart and soul. Okay? It's everything. It's your neural system. Your neural system, as far as I am concerned, is mission control. Okay. You want a healthy nervous system. You want all your systems to be healthy, quite frankly. I shouldn't have to tell you that. Okay. But the nervous system is the primary system that governs all the other systems. Without that one, the other ones don't work. Okay. It's the electrical system in your body. Okay. So yeah, go work on your inner electronics. Okay. And I'll see you next time. This one's a short one. I'm still working on the course. Please look for that. It's going to be coming out very, very soon. So that's something I'm pretty excited about. So again, being a little brief today because I do have to get back to the other work, and I will see you next time. All right. Thanks so much for being here. And again, remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and I'll see you next time.